Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Clark at the Metals Investor Forum here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, and I'm here with the CEO of Emperor Metals, John Florek. John, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. So, well, you're here for a reason. I invited you because I'm pretty excited about a lot of the things that are going on with the company. But before we jump into that, for anyone who's not familiar with you, tell us a little bit about your background and particularly the success you've had before as a geologist. You're the CEO of this company now, and the AI that you used. But tell us about your background real briefly.
Yeah, sure. I'm a geologist. Okay, I'm also president and CEO of Emperor Metals. But yeah, I have about 35 years experience in the industry. Early on, my first half of my career, I was in exploration. I worked for companies like BHP, Placer-Dome, Barrick Tech. But the other half of my career has been in production. So I worked underground at Hemlo Coal Deposit. And, that deposit was supposed to, close in 2012. I arrived in 2006. People wondered why I went there, and I wanted to see the historic Hemlo gold mines. People were talking about it recently, how they made a lot of money there. And so I wanted to see this deposit up. They were going to close it. Me and my team, we built some models, and we reconfigured how the mine would operate. Our team got Developer of the Year award for Northwestern Ontario, both engineering and geology. That was a big award, and we extended the mine life past 2012.
Yeah.
It's still in operation. So it was huge. They were going to shut it down.
And you used AI for that, did you not?
Or no, that was earlier on, but it was my introduction to really we used some grade control models back then. So when I did go to Detour Lake Gold, we wanted to build a new model because the reconciliation was flat. It was basically they were meeting the reconciliation, maybe a little under par, and they weren't making any money. So we wanted to build new models, and I wanted to build a geochemical model. And so we built the first ever geochemical model. And part of that was the roots and the foundations of using AI to create this model. When we fed that model through the mill, we started seeing 20% more gold in the same volume of rock coming out of the mill. And that equated at the time for an extra like $150 million, because the price was $1,100 gold per year for life of mine. It's a 40-year mine life. This inspired Kirkland Lake to take out Detour Lake Gold. And Kirkland Lake, and Eco saw the generational mine that it would become. It's one of their flagship properties now. And they took out all of Kirkland Lake as long as well the other assets like Fosterville and Macassa and stuff like that. So that the roots of that AI, I brought it into Emperor.
And how are you using AI at Emperor? I mean, you have a lot of things going on, but you're using AI as well. So tell us about the AI you're using to develop the Emperor deposit.
Yeah, absolutely. We had this obscure deposit in the Abitibi where we are right on trend to Porcupine-Tester Fault. And basically, there was no 3D models on it. It was sitting idle for about 12 years. So we used AI to make, quite quickly, a 3D model that would take a couple of years so we can see the exploration potential. It really illuminated the exploration potential. We picked up the deposit. It was a high-grade underground potential gold mine. In our inaugural season, 2023, we started drilling. We're the first company to sample the entire core. In the host rock of these high-grade lenses, which we were excited about, we got a little surprise. We started seeing like 25 meters of 1.69 grams per ton, or another 20 meters of 0.5 or 0.8. So this is the stuff, if you're in production, it's like, oh my God, do we have a large-scale open pit over this high-grade underground gold deposit? And so then we put together the first conceptual open pit model. We did some pit optimization, and now we have a pit that's 1.8 kilometers long by 800 meters wide, down to 400 meters depth. And in 2024, we're trying, our strategy was to try to extend the open pit eastward another 1 kilometer.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Now, you are just catalyst rich right now. I mean, you're drilling, you have assays pending, you have unsampled drill core that you inherited that was never properly assayed, that you are assaying in parts as we go along, all the AI you're doing. So tell us what we can expect here this fall, maybe next 6 months with all the catalysts that the company is going.
Yeah, so we just finished off our drilling. We haven't put out any press releases for our drilling results or our historical core assay in yet. We got about 15 to 20% of our drilling coming in right now. I'm just waiting for a couple holes to be complete before we put our first press release. But we have 16,000 meters of assays for press release coming.
That's great.
So that'll be over the next couple of months. And then when that comes in, I'm taking all the 2023 drilling, I'm taking all the 2024 drilling, appending it to the historical drilling, and we're going to develop, a new mineral resource estimate in Q1 of 2024. I want to break that hurdle of 1 million ounces because there is a historical mineral resource of 727,000 ounces of gold at 5.42 grams per ton with an average thickness of 5.7 meters. So we're quite excited to.
And that's an older resource too, right?
Yeah, it's an older resource, and that is an underground mentality that we were thinking to add to. But when we found this open pit, we could add ounces more quickly in an open pit environment because now we can have a cutoff grade of 0.3 instead of 3 grams per ton. So we're quite excited about that.
Yeah. And you have a pretty good team working around with you too. I mean, you're driving this bus, but there's a pretty good
team. My team is awesome. I got like some, legends in the industry like John Williamson and his the CFO that worked with John Williamson. It's the metals group company for 30 plus years, Sean Major. And so, they, Committee Bay, North Country Gold, they had the Kaminak discovery, benchmark thesis, and, he was developed founders in Suriname. All those stocks are doing well. He has a knack, John Williamson, for identifying projects and bringing them into, a cell or a pre-production or production.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate, and we have an independent director like Ian Harris, who sold Corriente for $690 million. I got one of the best IR and promoters, outreach for investors out there, Alex Horsley. So he's a huge help. And it's not just me, it's actually a team.
Yeah.
I'm a geologist, and, this is my first gig as a CEO.
Now, you're not going to have to build a mill, most likely, right? You're probably going to sell ore to a local underutilized mill. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's going to save the company a lot of money and move it into production much quicker. Am I right?
Yeah, location, like they always say in real estate. Within 30 minutes, we have 6 different mills or tailings dams. Like if you don't have to build, if you view this as a satellite deposit for supplemental feed to existing infrastructure, you wouldn't have to build a mill or a tailings dam. That saves you $500 million, $1 billion.
Yeah, right.
And if these mills, they're under capacity in the area, they're starving for ore, it makes sense that you would just append it to an existing operation. So we're excited about that because that means quick payback period, healthy NPV, and a good rate of return.
That's great. That's fantastic. So, John, you spoke here at the Metals Investor Forum.
Thank you.
What's the one message you would like investors to take away from Emperor Metals and what's coming and what's coming next for the company?
Yeah, the scale of the deposit is big. If you look at analogs, okay, they're ranging from $50 million market cap to $200 million market cap. And if you look at those projects, they have about 300,000 meters, 600,000 meters that they've drilled. We've only have 100,000 plus 120,000 meters drilled. So we have a lot more drilling to keep adding ounces. So we're going to grow this deposit, and hopefully, this will be multi-million ounce deposit, high grade, an open pit with a high grade underground gold deposit beneath it. So as we mine the pit, we can put a portal in at the end of the pit and start mining the high grade underground, or we can do it simultaneously, put a shaft in an open pit simultaneously. So there's many ways to skin this, but I don't see us having a lot of longevity if we get some traction in this high gold price because it's a nice asset in a tier 1 district, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I hope you don't get bought out too soon. I want to get a 5 or 10x on my.
I got in disclaimer. I got all my shares at 10 cents too, so I'm not worried about what goes up to 15 cents. I'm shooting for 30, 50, $1 plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is where I want to make my money.
Absolutely. I think we're going to make some money on this one too. I'm very long on this stock, very excited about it. So I'm Jeff Clark. Thanks for joining me, John, here at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver. Thanks.